Josie Duggar's twin connection, boyfriend drama, and family wedding twist. Josie Duggar, the youngest daughter of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, has always been seen by fans of the famous Duggar family as the symbol of miracles, resilience, and the child who marked a generation of reality television history. Her premature birth in 2009 was a nationwide story, and people who followed the show 19 kids and counting remember the fragile little girl who spent her early months fighting to survive. Over the years, the public has seen Josie grow into a spirited teenager, full of curiosity and a personality that often surprises even her large family. But in recent months, whispers surrounding Josie have taken a dramatic turn. Talk of a so-called twin connection, rumors of a secret boyfriend, and the added layer of a wedding twist within the family have stirred both fans and critics into a storm of speculation. The Duggar family, who have always lived under the microscope of public scrutiny, now face new conversations that seem to intertwine family tradition with the unexpected steps of a young daughter who is still finding her place in the world. What makes this story all the more captivating is that Josie, who was always portrayed as the baby of the family, is now at the center of emotional conversations about identity, relationships, and independence. Many longtime observers have raised eyebrows at the mention of a twin connection, something that the family has not publicly acknowledged in any official way. It remains a constant source of intrigue in online forums and fan communities. The speculation is built on stories that surfaced years ago, suggesting that Josie's difficult birth may have been tied to complications involving a lost twin. For those who believe in spiritual or emotional twin connections, the narrative around Josie becomes even more layered. They argue that such connections often lead individuals to feel an unexplainable bond, a sense of missing a part of themselves, or even the drive to seek out deep relationships at a younger age. While none of this has been confirmed by the Duggars, the possibility has fueled endless discussions, with many convinced that Josie's teenage experiences are shaped by this silent, invisible connection. Adding fuel to the fire are the rumors of boyfriend drama, a subject that Duggar fans know carries extra weight because of the family's strict courtship rules. Unlike typical American teenagers who date freely, Duggar children have traditionally entered supervised courtships, often with both parents involved in every step, from texting to in-person visits. The concept of unsupervised dating or private relationships has always been considered off-limits. For Josie to be linked with whispers of a boyfriend is in itself a dramatic twist, not just because of her age, but also because of the shadow of the family's well-documented standards. Some reports claim that Josie has been seen messaging someone outside of the carefully controlled Duggar circle, while others go further, suggesting that an internal disagreement has unfolded between siblings about whether Josie should be given more freedom than her older sisters were ever allowed. Observers who remember the controversies around Jill, Jessa, Jinger, and Joy Anna's relationships see in Josie's story a potential repeat of the Duggar cycle, where younger children quietly rebel against expectations set by their parents. The tension within the family is said to be heightened by the timing of an upcoming family wedding. The Duggar family, known for large, highly attended weddings, are reportedly preparing for another major celebration. But this time, the joyous event is shadowed by questions about how Josie's rumored boyfriend drama might impact the family's carefully curated public image. Weddings in the Duggar household have historically been opportunities to present unity, joy, and adherence to faith. They are often filmed, shared, and heavily photographed, turning personal vows into public showcases. If Josie's behavior is seen as straying from the norm, the fear is that the wedding spotlight may inadvertently shift toward her rather than the bride and groom. Family insiders, though often reluctant to share too much, have hinted at subtle tensions, with some siblings quietly supportive of Josie's independence, while others feel the family's values must be defended more firmly than ever. For fans of the Duggars, the drama is more than gossip. It reflects the ongoing saga of a family that has never fully escaped the contradictions of fame, faith, and personal choice. Josie's twin connection is viewed by some as symbolic, a metaphor for the dual identity she must navigate, one as a Duggar child bound by tradition, and another as an emerging individual shaped by her own desires. The idea of a missing twin or a spiritual link adds a mysterious layer to this identity struggle, one that fascinates those who believe in destiny, hidden bonds, or divine purpose. On the other hand, skeptics dismiss such talk as melodrama, insisting that Josie's experiences are no different from any teenager's desire for autonomy and recognition. Yet, it is precisely this mix of belief and skepticism that keeps the Duggar family in the headlines long after their television cameras stopped rolling. The wedding twist, however, may prove to be the defining stage for what comes next. Weddings are pivotal in Duggar culture, not just personal milestones, but community declarations of faith and family values. To have Josie's name linked to boyfriend drama at such a moment magnifies the stakes. Some insiders suggest that the family may even use the wedding as a stage to redirect public attention, focusing heavily on tradition, modesty, and the beauty of large families. But others whisper that Josie's presence, whether quiet or outspoken, could change the dynamic of the event entirely. Imagine the youngest Duggar, once fragile in the NICU, now walking into a wedding reception with rumors swirling about her personal life. It is the type of storyline that captivates audiences because it blends innocence with rebellion, tradition with transformation. The role of siblings in this story cannot be ignored either. The Duggar children, now grown and spread out across the country, each have their own perspectives shaped by experience. Jenner, who famously moved to Los Angeles and distanced herself from many of the strictest Duggar traditions, may see Josie's rumored independence as natural and necessary. Jill, who has spoken openly about her struggles with the family's expectations, might quietly sympathize with Josie's situation. Meanwhile, more conservative siblings could be unsettled, worried about what such stories mean for the family's image and the younger children who still look up to their parents as role models. In this way, Josie's story becomes less about one teenager and more about the evolving Duggar legacy, a legacy caught between its past and its future. The Duggar parents, Jim, Bob, and Michelle, are perhaps facing one of their most difficult balancing acts. As public figures, they are no strangers to scrutiny, but when it involves their youngest child, emotions run higher. Insiders suggest Michelle, who has often been portrayed as gentle and nurturing, is deeply concerned about protecting Josie from gossip and external judgment. Jim Bob, on the other hand, is said to be focused on maintaining control of the family narrative, determined to ensure that the Duggars remain symbols of faith and strength despite controversies. The couple's responses, whether strict or compassionate, could shape not only Josie's future, but also how the public continues to view the Duggar brand. In the broader cultural landscape, Josie's rumored twin connection and boyfriend drama reflect the intersection of personal growth and public storytelling. The Duggars are not just a family, they are a phenomenon shaped by years of television exposure, book deals, and tabloid headlines. Every milestone in their lives becomes amplified, dissected, and interpreted by millions. For Josie, who was thrust into the spotlight from birth, this means her teenage years are being narrated not just by her parents and siblings, but by fans, critics, and media outlets hungry for the next twist. The family wedding adds yet another stage for these narratives to collide, making the coming months crucial in defining how Josie is perceived and how she herself navigates the complicated blend of Duggar tradition and personal autonomy. As the story continues to unfold, one thing is clear. Josie Duggar is no longer just the miracle baby of the Duggar family. She is a teenager stepping into her own identity, grappling with questions of love, family, and belonging. Whether the twin connection is spiritual truth or symbolic metaphor, whether the boyfriend drama is real or exaggerated, and whether the wedding twist proves harmonious or disruptive, Josie's journey reflects the universal struggle between expectations and individuality. For fans, it is a chance to watch the youngest Duggar write her own chapter, one that may look very different from those of her siblings. For the family, It is a test of unity, resilience, and the ability to adapt in a world that no longer simply applauds tradition, but demands authenticity. Thanks for watching.